With the intensity of the Lesnar vs Undertaker feud going up a level last Thursday with the major injury angle and a Hell in a Cell officially announced to headline the No Mercy pay-per-view, another unexpected twist was scheduled for tonight following the Triple H and Kane Raw ending promo from Monday, with the company experimenting in another attempt to boost interest with a more storyline-driven direction, opening SmackDown with Taker waiting for Brock in the parking lot of the America West Arena in Phoenix, with Matt Hardy placed to be elevated to start his first singles heel run as the third wheel in the main event program, walking to the ring to brag about beating Taker last Thursday as the defining moment in the new era of Mattitude, getting Taker's attention to see him walking to the ring to start the show fast with a wild brawl in the opening quarter, continuing SmackDown's hot streak with a Hardy-Taker segment opening big with one of the most watched first quarters in months with over 5.3 million viewers, leading to a rare situation on SmackDown and WWE television in general where the first quarter is not the lowest rated segment of the night, seeing the Taker vs Hardy brawl going back and forth to end with Taker further injuring his broken arm with a missed punch on the ring post 10 days to the Hell in a Cell match. With more noticeable distinction between the products under the influence of head writers Brian Gewirtz and Paul Heyman in the past month, a secondary change in the creative process in the company was made during the week, with Michael Hayes, who worked more closely with Heyman on the SmackDown brand, being moved to focus on the Raw side, while Bruce Pritchard went in the opposite direction, with the change being done with the idea of looking to add a more experienced wrestling mind in Hayes to balance Gewirtz's more entertainment-based product, with another veteran in Terry Taylor, who holds the record for the most back-and-forth jumps between the companies during the peak of the Monday Night Wars, returning to the company for a trial run to potentially be added to the creative mix on either brand, with SmackDown on the night in the first show since the creative change, seeing more storylines-driven segments with more backstage skits throughout the show involving the top players in Angle, Benoit, Guerrero, Taker and Brock, while also making it the first WWE primetime TV broadcast since September 23 without an over 20-minute wrestling match on the show, after the experiment in the past 2 weeks saw strong numbers for all 4 matches. As with the formula that built the peak viewership still fresh in mind, looking to heavily concentrate more on the story-based angles to potentially bring back some lost casual viewers after successfully doing it in part with the buzz created from the mainstream publicity for the Billy and Chuck angle last month, which saw SmackDown viewership increasing substantially since September 12 despite going against much heavier competition for the start of the new season on network television, with SmackDown, which in addition to the continuation of the Taker-Lesnar feud also featuring a show-long angle of Eddie and Chavo building up to a match against Benoit and Angle for next Thursday, indirectly as a result of the increased competition on Thursday nights, also seeing a new viewership pattern developing in recent weeks with big boosts to start the second half hour of the broadcast at 8:30 p.m. with the third quarter coming right after the end of Friends on NBC, seeing bigger spikes than usual since the new season started on September 26 to indicate on potential crossover, with some of the Friends audience switching to UPN by 8:30, continuing the pattern on the night as minutes after Friends went off the air with over 27 million viewers. SmackDown saw its biggest viewership gain of the show, with Angle and Benoit continuing their one-upmanship feud in a unique heel versus heel dynamic that continued to draw big segments on a weekly basis, facing Kidman and Cena in round 1 of the tag titles tournament in a tag match going 8 minutes, gaining over 1 million viewers to peak the first hour with a 3.7 rating and over 6.2 million viewers, ending up with Angle and Benoit going over to officially set up the top match for next week, with them facing the Guerreros for a shot at the new SmackDown tag titles 3 days to the No Mercy pay-per-view. With him getting the biggest singles push of his career to date and the new heel character in less than an hour after a wild opening brawl against Taker, a Matt Hardy Desire video package aired to close the first hour, followed by Lesnar and Heyman coming out 2 minutes from 9 p.m., taking the build-up to the Taker vs. Brock pay-per-view rematch in a different direction by introducing Tracy to make a reveal on Taker's recent past, following the ending of Raw 3 days earlier with Triple H's Katie Vick revelation on Kane to now build both world title matches on added personal stories to potentially attract a wider audience in addition to the attraction of the world titles, bringing out Taker for the confrontation over the top of the hour quarter, maintaining 6.2 million viewers, with Taker, who for the first time since the Ministry days in 1999 was referred to by his real name Mark on WWE television, denying the allegations before making a phone call to Sarah to build up the heat with the Lesnar-Heyman mind games on the way to No Mercy, followed by Stephanie setting up the main event for the show over an hour, and with Brock booked in a tag titles tournament against Edge and Mysterio on short notice, seeing the second hour largely staying at around the same viewership range for each half hour to average 6.5 million viewers, with the day of the show on Thursday also seeing Bob Holly, after being dropped on his neck by Brock in their TV match last month, undergoing neck surgery at the same doctor that did the Austin Benoit and Rhino neck surgeries in the past 3 years, to start recovery that will take him out of the ring for the next year, while on the same day another less severe surgery was going on at another well-known WWE doctor, with Randy Orton undergoing shoulder surgery by James Andrews in Birmingham to take him out until 2003. For the third week in the past month, a Tori Wilson bikini contest was placed to open the final half hour, with the creative crew looking to follow the winning formatting that resulted in boosted numbers over the past 5 weeks, to see the segment delivering again to bump the show over 500,000 viewers, continuing the recent integration of more episodic storylines into the product, with the involvement of Tori's father in a triangle program, followed by another development in the main angle with Lesnar calling Taker's wife Sarah just before the main event, further building up the heat on the way to Hell in a Cell with the company, in addition to adding longer than usual wrestling matches going over 20 minutes on television on a consistent basis for the first time in over 7 years, bringing back another element to the product from the more recent past by building up the main TV feuds of Kane and Hunter on Raw and Lesnar vs. Taker on SmackDown on soap opera stories with cliffhangers from week to week, with the impromptu Mysterio and Edge vs. Lesnar and Tajiri main event tag match in a similar way to the identical formatting in the previous quarter, also seeing Rey, after erasing any doubt of him becoming a top player in WWE with instant impact since his debut, being placed to work his third straight TV main event after strong numbers in the past 2 weeks, not only on a national basis but with SmackDown being the most watched show on network television among Hispanic homes, featuring the first televised in-ring clash of Lesnar vs. Edge, with both recently working the SmackDown tours in singles matches while also scheduled to headline the upcoming Rebellion UK pay-per-view, going 7 minutes with the match, while not seeing the big spikes of previous weeks, still picking up slightly in the final quarter to the peak audience of the night with over 6.7 million viewers, ending with Edge and Rey going over to advance in the tag titles tournament before the show closing Taker vs. Lesnar brawl on the way to No Mercy in 10 days, with SmackDown overall continuing the show's strong streak to remain above the 6 million viewers range for the third straight week.